The next part of our lesson today has to do with reading another student's writing. This is a narrative written by a 7th grade student, and it's a great example of narrative writing. We will be writing our own narrative, and this is just a little sample of a finished piece, something to strive for, something to work for, that this is what our finished piece should look similar to when we're all done writing, revising, editing, and publishing. So first, we're going to start out by opening the document My Brother's Bunny and turning it into a Kami document. And then second, we're going to be working with this Kami document. Each of you is going to be responsible for partner reading the document, and then you're going to be looking for one dialogue that shows details about the character. Maybe it has dialogue that shows, maybe it's emotion that you as a reader are able to recognize based on the dialogue. Maybe it is relationships that stand out because of the dialogue. Maybe it is simply character traits that stand out based on the dialogue. The second thing that you're going to look for is action that shows and creates a visual image of the character's movement. And the third thing you're looking for is inner thinking that shows details about emotions, relationships, and character traits. So that's our goal. We want to look for dialogue, action, and inner thinking. And when we find some pretty fabulous dialogue or action that really stands out to us, or inner thinking that shows details about emotions, relationships, and or character traits, we are going to comment on it. Comment on that great example of inner thinking and explain why it's a great example of inner thinking. So I'll show you how this will work. You'll partner read your document, and as you partner read, when you find something that stands out to you, you're going to use the comment feature and you'll comment. It's as simple as that. Now notice, I'm not drawing anything. Absolutely not. We're not drawing on this. Shapes, not at all. No shapes. So just to keep in mind, the only feature we will be using here is the comment feature. And you can pick the color you want to use for your comments. I'm going to use red because I like the color red. I'm going to get started. My Brother's Bunny. It was an ordinary day, except for the fact that I almost lost my life. It was raining that day, and the winds were really strong. There were tornado warnings on TV and on the radio. We were some of the lucky ones, as some might say. I was sitting on the couch with a bowl of chips, watching TV in my favorite pair of pajamas. It was Friday morning, and we had off of school because of a teacher meeting. I was watching my favorite show on TV, and my siblings were still sleeping. Never mind. My little sister Celia was now crying in her crib, and my little brother Paxton was talking in his sleep. I paused my show, annoyed, and went upstairs to get Celia. I took her out of her crib and rocked her until she fell asleep again. Then I lay her back in her crib, turned on her mobile, and quietly closed the door. Celia must have woke Paxton up because when I turned around, he was right there, staring at me. Gamber, he asked in his little toddler voice. Where's Mommy and Daddy? They already left for work, I told him. Then he began to cry. I sighed. thinking I probably wouldn't be able to watch any more of my show. I picked him up, carried him downstairs, and plopped him down on the couch. Huh, I like this right here. I sighed, thinking I probably wouldn't be able to watch any more of my show. I picked him up, carried him downstairs, and plopped him on the couch. Inner thinking. This is really good inner thinking. So I learned how annoyed the character Camber is by her brother Paxton. But she really wants is to watch TV herself. However, her brother being awake changes everything. So then I'm going to hit enter and save my comments. So there's one comment about inner thinking. Now there's something else I noticed here, and it was that she plopped him down on the couch. So I'll mark that one, and maybe I'll change the color to a blue. She plopped him down on the couch. And I like that action. The action of plopping her brother on the couch shows her annoyance. So, two examples of Camber being annoyed. First was here, where it's her inner thinking. Oh, I sighed. I probably wouldn't be able to watch any more of my shows. And the second is when the action of plopping him down the couch. Her annoyance really stands out with those two examples. So maybe I can hold on to that thinking, and maybe that's something I can think about using in my own writing. So now I'm going to keep reading. I turned on some cartoons and listened to the sound of Mickey Mouse singing his theme song while I made breakfast. All of a sudden, a deafening noise was coming from the TV. Paxton screamed, and I dropped some cereal on the ground. And then, of course, Celia began to cry. I looked over at the TV and saw in big red letters, "Tornado! Move to a safe spot!" So right here, I'm going to stop. And now I'm going to pass on the responsibility of reading to you and your partner. And so you'll have to partner read back and forth. Decide between you and your partner who will read the even-numbered paragraphs, who will read the odd-numbered paragraphs, and your partner reading with your table partner. And while reading, you're thinking about finding dialogue that shows details about the character. Maybe it's the emotion, the relationship, or the character traits, and comment on why it's a good example of dialogue. Also, action that shows and creates a visual image of the character's movement. Throw in a nice compliment about action that was utilized in the story, as well as inner thinking. Think about the inner thinking that shows details about emotions, relationships, and character traits. And by the end of this, the expectation is that you have one comment per page. One comment per page. And since there are 4, 5, we'll go with, you need to have 5 comments by the end. 1 comment per page. So you can get started.